What?
You know, I still have a drawing of you.
I
Do
do.
you remember that? Yeah, and I still have it.
What is the drawing? Tell our audience the story of the drawing.
We went out for coffee, and you told me about a situation you were in with a girl that basically you just felt very trapped and very controlled.
Thank you for tuning in to season 2 of the Canadian Podcast Companion podcast therapy sessions with V and Shane. I hope you enjoy the show.
And I was trying to practice drawing. It's ironic because that one is actually probably the closest I've ever gotten to like a human face. It's like it looks exactly like you. And in the end, because I couldn't do the lips because I probably still couldn't just because of my skills. Because of the story you told me, I put like an X over your mouth because that's just kind of like the vibe I got from your story was like you felt silenced. You felt like you couldn't speak your truth, like you were trapped. And yeah. And I am very proud of that. Like every time I look at it, I'm like, fuck man, like that looks exactly like Shane. Like that's crazy. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay.
So what's your perspective then on this where you're like, oh, a woman should just move on and all that when stuff happens? What about a woman who's had like multiple partners?
Yeah, the whole pair bonding thing, I 100% agree with. I think that even women who sleep around and they do it just because like it's a sport to them, it's fun. There's still an emotional component to it.
Yeah.
A man kind of imprints himself on a woman when they do get intimate. And well, I think if you put out, then I mean, it's all good. You could do the same, right?
That's the trick. I just got to put out and then I'll get picked. Right. That's exactly, been so successful right? For me.
Give it away. I mean, that's what it's there for.
Yeah. First you gave it away on the side, so I don't think that's true. Second one, I think I was the one on the side. Third one, whatever. I don't even know anymore.
Women are like less happy now that they're sexually liberated. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, you know what? Like we're not supposed to be like this.
Yeah, the whole like my body, my choice, like absolutely agree with it, but the fact is that when women are sexually liberated, they're actually less happy. It says something that women should continue to be picky. I mean, I'm not going to say that you should not have one night stands, you should not have friends with benefit situations, but the numbers are all pointing towards that this sexual liberation makes women less happy than when they are sexually oppressed. Yeah. That's like I'd personally pass around like the corona to like 70 different people just through dance floor makeouts by itself.
Oh my god, you're just still into that, eh?
No, I'm just saying. Like if I was younger, if I was like in my 20s, I'd be like, all right, like let's pass this Rona around.
I don't even know. Do you have any idea though, now that we are in our 30s, what that's like? What is being 20? I mean, even before the pandemic, like are we looking at like Hollywood example, or are we looking at us at the pump, your country? I don't know how to put what's a good example. Like Craven Country Jamboree. That's known globally, right? Okay. Or Calgary Stampede. Like what are we, you know what I mean? Like what is I don't know if they are still. I never made out on the dance floor. Did I? I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure you have. I'm pretty sure it's a rite of passage.
Maybe like once or twice, but that was not a hobby. You make it sound like it's a hobby, like of these. Maybe I don't know.
Past Corona pandemic, I'm pretty sure it will be because like you can't like.
Oh well, maybe.
If you can't,
will people even know how to have sex anymore though? For Christ's sake.
I'm on my old man phase where I'm starting to say get off my lawn. A lot of the stuff these kids are doing nowadays, like they just absolutely enrages me.
But that I think is just 30s because I've been feeling that too, like, and like the music too, you're like, what is this crap you guys are listening to, right? And I'm like, oh, we are 30.
I hear the mumble rap. It gets me all the time.
Oh, I know.
Real music is when everyone talks about how every day they are shuffling. That's real music.
My friend who's a teacher, she's like, what did she say? You kids grow up on rappers who talk about getting shot, whereas we grew up with rappers who actually got shot. Like our rappers are dead, like, and they're living in like these California homes, like these upscale, right? It's not even comparable, and it's funny, but yeah,
It's too much for me, I think.
that's
But
just aging.
mind you, I think given my personality type, I was born in the wrong decade, and I would definitely be doing much better in this decade with all the trendy dances and all the ridiculous trends and stuff like that. Like I love challenges like that. So I
So
think
you think you should have been born later so that you would be like in your teens or 20s right now? That's what you're saying.
yeah, I think I'd fit in more. I think it's more acceptable to be a nerd because back,
Yeah.
when we were growing up, if you were to wear like I don't know, like a Marvel backpack and X-Men or Iron Man backpack to school, you'd probably get beat up and made fun of.
Yeah. No, I hear
Where
you.
yeah, whereas now, right? It's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Same for me. So for some weird reason, I feel like I should have been in like the 50s. I don't know why. Because it's ironic because there was like no women's rights, or there was very little, and it was all about, I don't know. It doesn't make sense now after this podcast, but I've thought that up until now.
Do you fantasize about being taken care of?
I do.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's this weird thing where it's like, even though I can do it and I'm proud of it and I always want to have that, I I think what I ideally would want is where we both do it to the point that I have enough security to do things that I want to do. But that seems to cause some conflict.
You like dominant men?
No,
No,
let's not. I don't want to go there.
It's not a sexual thing, you jerk. It's
Mhm.
you like men that exhibit dominant behaviors, and basically you want a man to take charge and put you in a situation. You have the capability of doing whatever you want because you're strong and independent, but he's taking care of it, and you're just kind of pursuing better things and actualizing. But he's providing the groundwork for that.
I feel like men are worried that you're going to seek something better. You're going to always be. And it's really weird because I'm like, literally, if you gave me, like, it's weird because I want that masculine freedom in the sense that I want what I want, but I want only one dude, monogamous, long term. Yeah, it's really confusing.
I've heard the term like, well, you got to have a backup, and that's kind of where the insecurity comes from men. It's who'd you cheat on me with? Was it the guy that you said not to worry about?
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. And that's the thing. And it's like, for me, I would never, because I've been cheated on. I've even been in situations where I was the other woman. And so I know how both feels like. That's like one of the biggest things is like, I don't want to make somebody else feel like that. Number two, I also think that it's fucking cowardly as fuck. Like, if you can't just openly say, hey, I don't have as strong of feelings for you anymore, and you just and you have to cheat when you're committed, then I think that's a you thing. That's like, where's your integrity?
Because women say, oh, he's just a friend, when really that is someone that you are actively flirting with.
And I mean, like, I do get hit on, but that doesn't mean I enjoy it. Especially when you're in a situation where you're working. Like, what would you do? You can't be rude or mean.
So
Yeah.
what about women who, say, oh, I'm loyal to my man, but if they go out for, girls' night out and some guys talk to them, they talk to the guy being nice, but they still give the dude like their actual number.
Which is shitty, but it's not the same as like, yeah, I don't know. Well, this is also like when we were younger and going like that now, no. But what is she doing besides conversing?
Yeah.
Or,
so the reason why I've never bought a girl a drink at the bar ever is because how fucked up is it that a girl won't spend time with you unless you pay her? Like, I am paying you to hang out with me, right? Like, it may not be currency, but what's the term, fiat? Like, it's a replacement for currency. Rather than giving you $5 to spend 10 minutes with me, I'm paying you I'm paying you in a drink. I'm buying
Which
you a
is even
drink.
worse. It's also like, oh, so you have to be intoxicated to spend time with me.
Yeah, I never
No.
never
Yeah.
ever did it.
I do remember I did not spend a lot of money when I went to the bar. Like all of my drinks were bought for me, but I do think it was you guys. Like, you
Not
know, the
me.
one,
Ooh,
no,
definitely
no,
not me.
no, but like, I don't want to say any names, but there was just guys in the group that made money. And it wasn't they were just buying me a shot. Like we'd do a shot together for three of us, or we'd have our whole crew come up and we'd all do a shot. Sometimes I bought the shots, but like honest to God, I was like, how did I afford that?
How many guys in the group have you made your way through?
That group?
Of that group.
Depends on which one of you guys were friends.
Oh.
I think it was two, wasn't it?
Who
And
are
they
the
weren't friends.
Who are the two?
Dan and
Oh, you hooked up with
one of them, yeah. We dated. We didn't hook up. We dated. I hate to fucking admit that though, but I was bad for that, for dating friends. I actually did that a couple of times. Not in the same circle. Or it wasn't like, yeah.
The most I've made my way through the group is like a couple, and I'm like, nah, I can't do this. I can't do it. The women are going to talk about me. Can't do it. Too self-conscious.
That's what I thought too. I was like, good God, I'm going to be the next or whatever the fuck her name is.
Oh,
the girl that everybody's like, oh, she's the one that you'll get with her. Like, no, we at least got to draw it at two.
Has been with every single legitimately every single person in the group. So
I know,
and that is the group, and that extends to the secondary and the tertiary.
Oh my God, why?
Just a friendly soul. That's all.
See, I figured this is my problem. Like that's my destiny, is to just be. How fucking ironic, hey? Like women are just, they could just get laid so easy, but we want the man to have a higher number.
Yeah, right.
And it's hard for you guys. That is so weird.
Because it's pre-selection, right? It's the whole thing with selection criteria is just that you are looking for you have unlimited access to men, but you want the best suitor. And one of the ways to determine who's the best suitor is looking at a man who's been with other women, someone who's pre-selected by other women.
It's the combo, right? It's like if I chose to do that, like it might be the same kind of, like if I was like, give this energy and give that, I'm sure guys would dig that.
Well, I don't think she's flirty, right? Like her whole game is to catch you by surprise, I think.
She could just be a girl who's like into that, and like you guys all unknowingly are being manipulated into being her. Like she could be like fucking writing notches on her own bedpost and keeping score. You never know, and you guys are just little fucking pawns.
She could be, right?
Seriously.
And maybe that's her thing, right? Like she gets off on that. But it's just, I can never do it. So hats off to her. But I think it's also in the group anyways have said.
Have you?
Yeah. Some other embarrassing stuff that I won't
say. My God. Do you think that guys would want to have that as their girl though?
I don't think anyone wants to make it a long-term thing with her, because you know that at the drop of a hat, she's going to go and, like furiously jump onto the next dude.
That's exactly what
There's no trust there.
Right. That's exactly it. It's like you'd said, like girls can do that, and like they for sure can, but even if it's not judgment. It's just, you are setting a pattern. People are seeing that pattern. So you can only, what am I trying to say? To go and have sex just for the sake of having sex, I think for women isn't the same, because of that emotional and that connective thing. And until you have it, you don't maybe fully realize it, like how it can go from like really great because of that to not so great because it's not there anymore. And so like the whole idea of just to do it, it's like, so you're just being an animal for the sake of being an animal, for that like moment of pleasure.
Well, women have one night stands. But I've also heard women say that it doesn't feel good without the emotional connection.
No. And there's another thing too, is it's like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to take a little dig. There's no way, like, hey, not every woman is the same. Every woman likes something different. Every woman's turned on by different things, whatever. So the chances of this guy that you just met, just knowing what he's doing, sorry, but like you guys might be good and you might like get onto something, but it's been a rare occurrence that y'all just know what to do. And I'm not trying to
Dan knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh my God.
Propping up my boy.
Well, I don't want to know how you know, but you don't have to tell me your bro secrets. It's okay.
That was a guess, but I was going to say that regardless. It could have been terrible. And I would have been like, wow, my boy Dan turned that inside out.
Hey, ew. No, because we're talking about Dan. It's getting cut anyway.
God.
Didn't know any better. I don't know why. That one seems less offensive. It's just.
I'll edit it up. You have my honor. If anything, I'll put a beep on it.
Oh no. Yeah, no, I will agree with that whole it takes connection. It takes the guy's got to care about more than just like him getting off, for sure.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. I don't understand women where sex can feel good without an orgasm.
Because of that emotional connection.
How does the emotional side impact?
Like, probably because you're like more turned on. So because you're more comfortable. Because maybe he's more respectful.
But are you not still just as turned on when you are with a random man?
No, I don't know if I can speak for all women, but I think that most women, it feels like, from what you've said too, it feels better when you're connected. So it's like it can feel good, but it still feels okay. So like for some, it might not feel good at all. For some, it might feel like kind of good. But then when you have an emotional connection, there's this like, I don't know, there's like this energy exchange. Maybe because there's more substance there, like, especially if we're talking just a random, you just met them, you don't know them at all. Like, that's exactly it. So you're going into it with just physical attraction. But when you're going in with physical and emotional and mental and spiritual, or like a combination of some of those, you're adding to it. And I mean, I have been reading a lot because I was like, the environment is a huge thing for women, actually. So them feeling comfortable, like, some women, they want the door closed. There's a lot of things. I don't know exactly what it is. All I can say is, yeah, when you don't feel, because I had it where it was there and then you lose the connection and then you have sex and it's not there as strong. And it can be for various things.
It's very confusing for me as a man to hear this stuff.
No, I know, because for you guys, it always just feels good. And that's your like ultimate goal, is to get it in the hole.
So blunt.
Wow. That's me. This is why I'm single.
Well, I mean, I think women talk about like the value of the emotional connection and all that stuff, but then it's like, why do women have one night stands then?
I don't know. Here's the thing: is like, if a girl is like continually getting partner after partner after partner, and it's so easy for her, like, it's almost taking what was special about sex away. Like, sex isn't just about the orgasm. Like, it's a close experience. It's like, it is like you're spiritually connected. Like, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's
like you're intruding on someone's body, I guess. So I think that's kind of the.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if she didn't invite you in, it would be rape, right? So, but we don't look at it as like she's inviting you in. right? We'll look at rape as being very bad because you did not get consent. You violated her. But we don't look at the opposite. Like if she actually invited you into that, that's, you know, it's the most intimate thing a woman can give you. And then when it's mistreated, it hurts. And it's like, yeah, okay, we'll fix it. We'll get over it. Because I mean, like, you've told everybody now that I was basically a whore in my early 20s. But now
were.
I'm like,
yes. My bad. No, I didn't call you that.
Who's also been faithful 100% in 2 relationships that lasted a total of 10 years. So,
okay, so it balances
like,
out.
That's the thing. And like, honestly, now it's just like, I mean, sure, like, the thing is too, is it's like, well, if I'm just going to like sleep around, that's all I'm going to get, right? Like, if that's what you're putting out there, you just want to sleep around, well, then you're not going to get a relationship. Like, you're going to get hookups. You're going to get casual sex. You might get lucky, but like, not lucky, but like lucky that one works out in your favor and it worked, you know. But yeah, I don't know.
Even know. I don't know how to pick up women anymore. I'm very pure. I'm saving my first kiss for the altar.
You're so full of shit.
How am I full of shit? When have you ever seen with another woman?
That's true. You could be just talking game and talking shit like most guys, right?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Who has called you slut or whore more, men or women?
Honestly, again, probably 50-50.
Okay, so to answer your question then, it's whether the woman has a higher number or not, it doesn't matter because most men aren't getting laid. True fact, I believe it's one of those Pareto's laws really fits in here. 20% of the men are getting 80% of the women, and 80% of the men are lonely. And it's I know people who haven't had sex since high school. They're best,
still yes, I've heard that even like similar body type man woman, she's gonna have more partners. There's
So yeah, I think how that fits in for women with the higher number, just be you. For a man, you have a shitty cards and you just try and improve your situation, and hopefully one woman will.
Oh my God. You're talking about sex and I'm talking about relationships. I'm like,
that's how men and women react though, right? It's just because you can't have a relationship until you get to that hurdle of sex. You sleep with someone to that point. For women, that actually means something.
See, and that's the problem, is then it means something and then the dude's done or, you know, whatever. And then that hurts.
Why? You got something out of it. You got
what?
The man of your choice and you picked him. So why does that hurt?
Because he ain't there. So what was the point of giving up your body then? Because it was just for his like temporary pleasure, basically. I mean, that's it. That's where it's psychologically, it's like,
okay,
guess that's all it's that. So I guess
so this
maybe that's my future. Maybe I should just start going and getting laid.
No, not that. Okay, so there's like I guess a psychological thing there that I don't know if it's either that's how women think or that's you've been conditioned to think, but you're not like prostituting your body and going X amount of dates and I'll do this, or he makes X amount of money, or maybe you are, but the whole point of the reason why we are a competition species is that it is so difficult for men to.
I think what it is that whether you look at any view, like even like anything, when it comes to women, their body is a little bit different. It's a little bit sacred, and just because it can bear children. Because okay, that's a good way to look at it. If your temple is having a lot of visitors, what makes it any different than a whorehouse? Just saying. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like,
I'm not saying that though. You're saying
no,
that.
I know, but it's like, okay. And it's probably not like that for all women. I'm not trying to generalize, but when it comes to that traditional monogamous commitment, I think maybe that's essentially what it came down to. Now, maybe that just doesn't fucking matter anymore. I mean, we're turning into machines. We date through computers.
But
yeah, like it's not like we're technically turning into a machine, but you know what I mean. Like,
you realize that
so
all that stuff turns it more into females' favors than men's favors, though, right? Before the advent of online dating, so let's talk about our generation before before online generating started picking up. Let's date ourselves here, right?
okay, sure.
If you go into the bar and you're doing your thing, you put on, your tight little dress or whatever you're doing, and you're out there to wow and meet some hot guys, right? That's what women do, and I'm assuming that's a fair assumption that you
most, yeah. No, I'll give you that. Yep.
Yeah. All right. I'm assuming though, of when you put on those nights, and this is something that women do, is you need to put yourself in a position where men can approach you. Right? So you get your pick of all the men, who's ever the most courageous to approach you. Because that shows that those traits of successful risk taker and leader of men stuff. So with this online dating stuff, you're taking all those factors out, and you're not choosing your champion. You are just choosing based purely on looks. You're removing all these other qualities that men can use to impress women.
Yeah, and that's bad though. Like, what do you know that guy's got to offer? Like, I mean, you learn that as you date, but if you're picking initially just off looks, I think that you are probably missing out on a lot of men who are actually compatible with you.
What will it take for you to get back into dating?
I need the guy to, I don't know, show up. I do want to know that there's more to me than my looks. I'm so tired because I am a pretty girl. I don't know. I've heard it so much. Honestly, I'm not kidding. There was a good portion of my life where I wished I was ugly. And I had this talk with a girl the other day because then I would have been chosen on personality.
Okay. So maybe we'll end the podcast like this then. What personality traits are you looking for in a man?
Can provide for at least himself. Has a residence. Did you say personality? Shit.
Just give me traits. Give me qualities or traits. Give me personality. Could be anything. But I find it funny.
Okay, wait.
You're looking at money stuff though here too, which is.
I know. No, up until lately, I fucking provided for myself and I had my own place.
And now you want a man to give you all that stuff.
No, I just, from experience, know that we both have to have that in some way, even if we're just renting. No. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe you do need to make your way through the group, hey?
God.
Just keep making your way through the group. That's what you gotta do.
I should just pick a married man, apparently.
Pick a married man. That's another strategy.
And
ooh.
It's harsh, but I have this little part of me where it's like, am I just supposed to like keep fixing men so that they can have good relationships after me? Because that has happened quite a bit. Like married kids, like undateable man, we break up, boom, they're fucking, yeah.
I'm saying like you just get yourself a Dan.
Okay.
He's single and he's ready to mingle.
I bet you it didn't even mean much to him. He doesn't even remember. Remember, he's like, I didn't know her that well. There you go.
Well, that's because maybe he's playing it cool because you broke his heart via text.
That was a big thing. I was always the one getting dumped. So I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Are you emotionally attached to Dan?
No.
Oh, God damn.
Stop that.
I have to bring it every single time. Well, that's how I know you. So, I mean, that's like the only thing I can.
Okay, well, I'm going for my smoke with the train going now because we're talking about Dan. Yeah, so I think maybe that's my destiny. By the way, my phone is at 8%. I'm going to have to go right away.
Okay, fair enough. I think on that note, we could actually do a proper sign off of the podcast and then chit chat for a bit after. All right, all right, we're going to wrap up session 2 of the podcast therapy sessions with Shane and V. Thank you for listening. Tune in for the next episode. Boom, we did it.
We're probably just gonna have to redo that a couple of times.
I think we'll have to do that for like every single one. I
Well,
think on the
because we might
last
have
one.
more than 3.
Mm-hmm.